Hello everyone and welcome to my new tutorial. This is Keiko by Ben Howard. But first of all, before I teach you the song, I'd like to talk about a record label called Voulou. Voulou Records is a company that I'm working with that helps unknown artists get found and even paid for their YouTube music. So if you're an unknown artist watching this right now, just contact them. I highly recommend checking them out. I've provided a link in the description box where you can visit their webpage, their website, and get in touch with them. Just check them out, it's worth a try. So let's start with the tutorial. Keiko by Ben Howard. What we need is an acoustic guitar, steel string, and no capo at all. The guitar is split open. The tuning for this song is C, G, C, G, G, C from low to high. C, G, C, G, G, C. Alright? So basically the song is, the structure of the song is quite simple. Consists of a verse that is repeated over and over again, the same chords over and over again, just the technique your right hand uses changes a little bit, and a chorus which is a little bit tricky due to some hammer-ons and pull-offs you play with the left hand, but we will go through this in detail, no problem at all. So let's get started with the intro and the verse part. So the intro or the verse part, actually there's no real intro because Ben Howard starts singing right from the start. Let's focus on the chords first. What we play, we have 4 different chords in the verse section. The first one is on 5th fret, covering 5th and 4th string. Alright? 5th fret covering 5th and 4th string. That's the first chord. The second, 3rd fret covering 6 and 5. Right? The third one, 7th fret covering 6 and 5. And the last one for the verse, 5th fret again, 6 and 5. Alright, and all Ben does in the first part of the verse, where he starts singing, he's playing these 4 shapes and playing with his right hand the low 3 strings. Alright, so far the first part, not very difficult, 4 chords and right hand just strumming the low 3 strings, 1 time every chord shape. Alright, so proceed to the second part of the verse, which is a little bit more difficult. The second part, we're using the same chords, but what we do here is we use a technique with our right hand that includes the percussive part. That's what you hear in the song, that makes the song unique. So far, Keiko, I see you, the life in my dreams, the outsider amongst us, the plague in between. Keiko, the world is a beautiful thing, I don't always adore it, know what it means to feel. And that's the part where he starts the percussive technique, which is left hand does the same like before, the right hand now. What we do is a strike on the low 3 strings, low 3 or low 4 strings near the bridge, right? That gives this bass sound. And then after this first hit we do a hammer on. We hammer on all the chords we play here. Alright? Hammer on 2 fingers, 5th fret, 5 and 4, string 5 and 4. Alright? And now we stay on that chord, and now we have to focus on our right hand. After that slap, here, hammer on left side, and now we do a slap with our thumb on the top of the guitar. And it's a slide slap. It's not that loud. You hardly can hear it in the live version and how it plays, but you can see it. I've slowed down the video and watched every movement he does, and there's definitely a little slap here. And now, after the slap, there's a twisting movement of his right hand. In Ben Howard's case, left hand. He's left-handed, and he strikes the harmonics on 19th fret, kind of above the fret wire. Right? He's hitting 2 or 3 strings. I think it's around here, 2nd to 3rd or 2nd to 4th string, middle of the neck. Right? Bass, hammer on, thumb, slap with your middle finger, your ring finger, or both of them around the 19th fret, and then his hand moves further up and he gives his guitar a little slap at the side. Alright? So far. And now he goes backwards, which means moving his hand towards him, again striking on the 19th fret one time, then a thumb on top of the guitar and a double bass note. And now there's the change of the chord. The first bass note is playing the strings open, and the second, there's that hammer on again. Now on the second chord shape, 3rd fret covering 5th and 6th string. Bass, hammer on, thumb, fingers on the 19th fret, slap at the guitar, fingers again, 19th fret, thumb, bass note, the first bass note, and after the second, there's the next hammer on the next chord, and then the whole thing starts from the beginning. Alright, so you're playing this for every single chord of the verse, and that's repeated throughout the whole song. The only special thing here is when you're moving from 3rd fret to 7th fret, from the 2nd chord to the 3rd chord I showed you, you're not playing the bass note open. You leave your little finger, your pinky, on the 2 low strings on 3rd fret, and then you do a hammer on from this fret to this fret, from 3rd to 7th, not playing them open. So let's repeat the shape. Bass note, thumb, then slap 19th fret harmonics, slap at the guitar, slap again the strings above the 19th fret, thumb, and a double bass note. And after the second bass note, there's the next hammer on the next fret. And that's it. That's what you need to know about the verse part. So, one thing, he ends the verse on the percussive part of the verse on the first chord again, with the double bass note coming from the fifth low 2, and then he starts playing the strings with his finger, strumming them. Again, the same shape like before. You have to listen closely to the song and watch the live version to play along, and you will get the point where he switches over. But that's the way he does it. He plays the percussive part and ends on bass note and the first hammer on the first chord I showed you before, and then he starts playing these chords again, just with his thumb or index finger strumming the low 3 strings like you did when you started the song. And yeah, well, that leads directly into the chorus part, which is a little bit more difficult like the verse, but I'm gonna show you this now. Okay, that's the chorus part. We ended up on strumming of the verse till the end. He stays on the last chord, which is 5th fret covering low 2 strings. Strums them several times, and then he does a slap with his thumb on the top of the guitar. And then we start with the chorus, which is basically 7th fret low 2 strings, 5th fret low 2 strings and 3rd fret. 7, 3rd, 5, 7, 3rd, 5 in a row. What we do here is we use our pinky, our little finger, we do slap on the guitar, and then we do a bass note over here, 1 hit. Hammer on with our pinky, low 2 strings on 7th fret. What we do now is we play kind of the same pattern with our right hand like we did in the verse, but when we're on 7th fret there's a little variation in there, which means the first time we played it's exactly the same, but then there is a bass note, a little pause, a second bass note, then we leave out the thumb on top of guitar. We play the strings again, harmonics here, play our slap at the side of guitar, get back on the strings, do a slap with our thumb, and then a single hit on the strings and doing the hammer on 3rd fret. So that was all in all. Let's do it step by step. 1 hit, hammer on here, and now there's this hammer and pull off thing with our index finger. We leave that off for a moment and focus on the right hand, just what the right hand does. slap, hammer on, the thumb, the slap on the strings 19th fret, slap at the side of the guitar, then a slap on 19th fret again, thumb, one hit, little pause, second hit, and then we leave out the thumb, again a hit on the strings, slap, side of the guitar, hit on the strings again, thumb, one bass note, and the hammer on 3rd fret, low 2 strings. So let's try to play this a little bit more in speed. No, sorry. And not the double bass note, that's just a habit from me. Was playing that too long until I recognized it was wrong. By watching Ben Howard playing it several times and finally recognizing that he's just playing a single slap. And then when we are on the 3rd fret, when we changed from 7th to 3rd, we play the same pattern like we did in the verse part. With a double bass note, switching over to 5th fret, low 2 strings, like in the verse. The same pattern, and on the double bass note after the second beat, we do the hammer on the next chord. Right, so the whole pattern, 7th, 3rd, 5th fret, and on 7th fret alright, so the double bass note with a little spacing in between, then no thumb here, one hit on the strings, slap, hit on the strings, thumb, a single bass note, and the hammer on 3rd fret, low 2 strings. Okay, when you've got that shape, when you've got that rhythm and everything is okay, you can play that fluidly. We can play that without any problems. Now we should focus on the hammer on thing that's in between here. Instead of holding down the low 2 strings on 7th fret with our index finger or middle finger, we use our pinky. Also doing the hammer on with the pinky. If your pinky is too weak, use your ring finger as support by putting it over the pinky and helping the pinky pressing the strings down, and then you can move your ring finger away so you can reach to the 12th fret, 5th string, because that's the position where we do the hammer-ons and pull-offs. Alright, so we play the bass note, the hammer-on. Now we're on 7th fret, thumb, finger on 19th fret harmonics, and now with our slap at the side of the guitar, that's the point simultaneously where we do the hammer on and pull off on 12th fret 5th string with our index finger, and then going back with our right hand, touching the strings again on the harmonics, doing the thumb. And when we did the thumb, the first beat of the two with the little spacing in between, the first beat simultaneously with a hammer on and pull off. my pinky is getting weak now after holding the strings down for 2 minutes or so. With the first beat of the two, we play a hammer-on and pull-off simultaneously. Then the second beat, and after the second beat, where normally should be the thumb again, which is left out in this part, we play the third hammer-on and pull-off while holding down the strings, of course. The third hammer-on and pull-off, instead of playing the thumb and then playing 19th fret the strings again, doing the slap, the strings, the thumb, and one hit near the bridge of the guitar, and the hammer-on on the next fret, which is 3rd fret, low 2 strings. And then we play the regular pattern which we learned already in the verse part. So again, the whole thing on 7th fret. Simultaneously with the slap, the first hammer and pull off, the strings again, the thumb, the first beat of the two beats here, the first simultaneously with the hammer and pull off, then the second beat, no thumb, instead of the thumb, again hammer and pull off, the harmonics, slap, harmonics, thumb, one beat, and the hammer on 3rd fret, low 2 strings. So that's the way Ben Howard plays it. And yeah, when he's done that, let's see, he plays it four times, I think. Then goes back into the next verse. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you the parts that are missing now in the next section. Okay, so we have the chorus. When he plays the chorus, he plays it 4 times, the whole shape, 7th, 3rd and 5th, with the percussive part with the right hand. And after he's done singing the chorus, he plays the whole thing again 2 times. And in the first chorus, and after the the second time without singing, he ends up on this shape again. Instead of starting with the 7th fret, low 2 strings, right? Instead of starting this way, he hits the first chord of the verse. So part of the chorus, these two chords, 3rd low 2 string and 5th fret low 2 strings, were out of the chorus. And when he's done playing, that shape in the chorus part, the last time, he's doing the slap on the low 3 strings of the guitar, here, right near the bridge, and a hammer on for the first chord of the verse. And then after this hammer on, he lets ring this chord, and that's the point where he starts singing again. Keiko, the world is a beautiful thing, I don't always adore it, I know what it means, and so on and so on. I don't know the words correctly, so that's where he starts singing the verse part again. And he plays the whole verse, like I showed you before, again, and gets back into the next chorus, the second chorus, which is exactly played like the first chorus, like I showed you now. But in the end, when he's done playing the percussive part, instead of going back into the verse part, he keeps on playing the chords of the chorus, but now he's not playing the percussive part with his right hand, he's just strumming strumming that part. Simple, holding down the strings, strumming with the right hand the low 3 or 4 strings, and doing the 3 hammer-ons and pull-offs in between. Then moving down to 3rd fret low 2 strings, moving up to 5th fret low 2 strings, still strumming, and then going back to 7th fret, playing this over and over, I think 2 or 3 times, and then he gets into the outro, and the outro part is fairly simple. It's just played with his thumb, right hand thumb, low 2 of 3 strings, starts on 10th fret, low 2 strings, goes down to 5th fret, low 2 strings, up to 7th fret, low 2 strings, down to 3rd fret, low 2 strings. This is the part where he sings, and I remember you, none of the fury saying it will be fine. I remember you, none of the fury saying it will be fine. I remember you. And he ends on the 3rd fret low 2 strings. So, simple things that I didn't mention before. While playing the verse part with the strumming technique, when he's on the last chord shape, 5th fret low 2 strings, he likes playing some harmonics in between. Harmonics 7th fret, high 2 strings, 2 and 1. Which means, Keiko, I see you, the life of my dreams, the outsider amongst us, the play in between. Keiko, and so on and so on. And especially when he's not singing, he's playing these harmonics in between. Usually 7th fret, high 2 strings, or just picking them. I've seen that too. I will post the link to the live version which I used to figure this out, so you can compare and play along. And even when you play along with the other versions, it's no problem, because actually there are just a few variations, but these are variations you can get very, very fast, so that's no problem at all. Okay, so the harmonic part, that's the first thing I left out in the verse. And even in the outro, there's another harmonic part that he plays. That's I remember you. That's why he holds down 3rd fret low 2 strings with his pinky, his little finger, so he can get to 7th fret high 2 strings with his index finger and playing the harmonics after having played the 3rd fret low 2 strings. I remember you, none of your fury saying it will be fine. Remember you. Alright, so that's the way he plays it most of the time. And that's the end of the song, ending up on the 3rd fret with I remember you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I love playing acoustic songs by Ben Howard. I love playing percussive guitar. That's massive fun for me, so I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you could learn the song with every details I told you. In case there are any problems or any questions about anything I did not get clear with, maybe there's something in the tutorial that you did not understand, that's no problem at all. Just write me a message, write a comment in the comment section below. I'm gonna answer you as fast as possible, trying to help you. And yeah, well, that's it. Have fun playing the song. It's awesome as hell. See you soon in the next tutorial. Bye.